throw on the mask and put on the armor for no reason. Somewhere along the way, bit by bit, we learn to do it. The armor and the mask, they protect us. The armor protects our feelings, and the mask kind of lets us be somebody else, lets us pretend. When something bothers us or we're hurt, we can put on the armor and pretend we're fine. No, it's good. No worries. It's fine. It protects our feelings. Both of them hide vulnerability because vulnerability can be scary. And it's a threat, really. Oftentimes it's seen as weak, though it's not, but it can be seen as weak because you're vulnerable. You're showing a side of you of unknown, something you don't know, where you messed up, where you're not perfect. And we're not perfect. Nobody is. But sometimes we think we're the only one. In that moment, we think we're the only one that is in that place. But there's more to it. Instead of accepting our vulnerabilities, instead of accepting when we mess up or something we don't like about ourselves, or we're not great at something, or whatever the case is, we hide it. We don't accept it. We want to hide it. We want to cover it up. And that's what we use the mask and the armor for, is to cover that up, to cover the things that we're not confident about, we're not happy with about ourselves. I've hid and still hide speaking up and asking for what I want. And my armor and my mask that I used to hide this showed up as people-pleasing, saying yes to everything, and going along with whatever, being a pinball in life. Over time, we put a mask on over here, we put armor on over there, and we slowly start doing it more and more, till eventually we don't ever take the mask off or the armor off for those parts of us. Even when we get to a point where we want to be ourselves, we crave being ourselves, but we've done it for so long, it's hard to take the armor off. It's scary because we're not used to it. It would be new. And so even when I wanted to, I tried and I wanted to speak up. I wanted to say what I wanted. I wanted to ask for what I wanted. I wanted to say no. It was hard because I had that mask on. I had that armor on. And so I just kept going with it. And it becomes a vicious cycle because you want to change, but you've been doing it for so long that it's scary, and it's just this vicious cycle, but you can get out of it. I've gotten out of it. You can. And it comes down to accepting it, accepting that part of you. What made it way easier and made a huge difference for me was once I actually recognized what was happening, that I was wearing the mask, I was putting on armor, that I was trying to hide my inability, my nervousness, my fear to speak up, to ask for what I wanted, to say my truth. Once I recognized that and started noticing it in the moment and catching myself, I was able to actually own it. And I'm learning, still learning, to accept that about myself, that that's where I was. And it's a crazy shift because when I actually became aware of it and accepted it, I'm learning I don't have to hide it all the time. And I actually put it out there. And so even me saying this is helping me internally because I'm putting it out there. Hey, I know I have a hard time speaking up. I have a hard time asking for what I want. I have a hard time saying no to something I kind of want to do for something that I know I really want to do that's going to move me forward to where I want to be, who I want to be in life. That's all really hard for me. But me saying it lessens it because I'm admitting it, I'm owning it, I'm acknowledging it, I'm accepting that about me. And that's what it's about. It's about accepting those parts about yourself, being okay with them, owning the uncertainty, owning the not great at, owning the unknown, those things that you're hesitant about yourself and you're like, I'm not very good at that. It's okay. We all have parts of us that we're not that confident with, that maybe we're not very good at. We haven't learned that skill. We haven't strengthened that skill. You're not alone. We all feel this. We all have these things. And so if you can accept that, for one, acknowledge it, notice it. Yeah, I'm not very good at that. And find a way to be okay with it. That's what this is about. That's what it's after, is learning to accept those parts about yourself as well. Because when you actually accept those parts about yourself, you don't feel the need to hide it. So like with my hiding the speaking up and saying no and saying my truth when I'm worried I might hurt somebody. As I'm learning to accept that about myself, I don't have to hide it so much. I don't feel the need to hide it, to put on that mask, to wear the armor, to cover it up. And when you're not trying to hide those parts, you come across as more confident. Not because you're perfect, but because you're not trying to pretend. And that's felt. People feel that. People can sense it when you're pretending versus just, yep, this is the way it is. Like when you're okay with that about yourself, people notice that. They sense it. And that's the difference when you see somebody that doesn't seem to care what others think. They've found some acceptance in themselves for that. I'm sure you have somebody in mind right now that you're thinking of, that you feel this. You feel it in them. You see it. You sense it. People don't judge confidence the way we think they do. They can actually feel, we can feel when someone isn't hiding, and you can sense that. And when you can start to find some acceptance in your vulnerabilities that you use the mask and the armor to protect and hide, you stop caring so much of what others think about it. People might judge. I'm not saying they're going to stop judging, but you're going to care less because you've accepted it. The goal isn't to get rid of the vulnerabilities or to perfect yourself. It's to stop treating it like something that needs to be hidden. And what does that look like? As with everything, it starts with noticing. Noticing and catching yourself. One, when you aren't being yourself, when you are wearing that mask and you notice yourself wearing the armor, when you're hiding, you feel it. During reflection, spending a little bit of time thinking about those moments. Thinking about what you're actually hiding. Why you're hiding it. And not only that, but also working with the friend within and thinking about those times when you are yourself, when you feel at ease. Because when we actually think about those times too, it feels good. We can be like, oh yeah, that felt really good when I did that. And you can start feeling that moment, those moments when it's like, that was easy, that felt good. I pushed myself out of my comfort zone. I didn't wear the mask here. That felt good. It felt like me. I like that. And reflection will get you there because often, otherwise we go through the days and we never think about how the day went in the good side. often we think about the negative, and a lot of times we think about all negative of, oh, I messed up here, I did wrong, and you berate yourself, versus actually just working with yourself, hanging out with the friend within, and actually thinking through and working through those moments of, I really liked how I was there. That felt really good. And asking yourself, why am I hiding this? Is it because I'm not very good at it? I'm not, because we're not confident in things. Like for me, speaking up and asking for what I want, I was not very good at it. That's why I hid it. But I wanted to do those things. I admired that in other people. And so I knew I had to work on it. And it took me reflecting on it and talking to the friend within and really thinking through it and really being certain that I want to be me. That feeling that I've been talking about, I just want to be me. I want to be accepted for me. Well, like I keep saying, that means I have to actually be me. So I have to get out of that comfort zone. I have to work on these things. And I'm not perfect at it, even when I'm working on it. I fumble through it, it's messy, but whenever I do it, no matter what, even if it's messy, it feels good. Because I'm being me, I'm trying, I'm working on it. It's getting easier. And as I'm accepting it and I'm owning it, I can actually say, all right, I know I have a hard time asking for what I want, but I want blah, blah, blah. Or I'm trying to say no more, and this is the time I need to say no right now. Or I'm just trying to be really short with it and just, no, I don't really want to do that today. And just leaving it at that. I don't need to over-explain. Because as I talked about in the last episode, over-explaining is still a part of wanting that acceptance, searching for that permission, that approval, that acceptance. And I don't want that. I don't want to seek approval from anybody else. I just want to be me and be okay with that. And that takes accepting who I am within myself. Me accepting me. Me approving of me. And how I do that, stop seeking it. And just, no, I don't want to do that right now. That's it. And it is hard. It is so hard. But it's getting easier. And every time I do it, it feels so good. And so that's how we start accepting it, is by actually doing it. So often we wait. We want to feel the acceptance before we act on it, but it doesn't work that way. That's backwards. You have to actually start acting on it to start accepting yourself. You have to stop caring about what other people think, and you do that by just doing it, by being yourself, taking off the armor, removing the mask, and doing it. And you don't have to do it like all big at once. Just do it in little bite-sized pieces. So when I started doing it, it was a no, just a no. And then maybe they'd ask questions and I'd be able to explain a little more. Instead of, I used to say, no, because blah, 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 blah. All these reasons, right? I give the whole everything. So then I just was like, no, I'm going to stay home. That's it. Or, hey, I would like this. And sometimes I would say, I know I struggle to ask for what I want, but I'm asking it now. And so when you put it out there, you're owning it. And there's something about that makes it easier, because you're acknowledging that you're not very great at it, but I'm still doing it. I'm not good at it, but I'm going to try. I still want to do it right now. It makes a huge difference, and it really, really helps. And then actually sitting down and thinking about reflecting on that moment. And that helps because it actually keeps the momentum going and proves to yourself that, okay, I can do this. It was a little messy, but I did it and it felt really good. Okay, so next time you subconsciously, sometimes consciously, but a lot of times I think it's subconscious that your body, the friend within, remembers that, and you do it again. And you do it a little more. Or maybe you put the mask on and then you catch yourself quicker. You're like, no. Okay, I really want to do this. This is something I'm working on. Let me take the mask off a little bit and say part of it or a little bit. It's not going to be perfect. It takes practice and it takes time. But that's how you get better, as with everything. It's during reflection and spending time with yourself that strengthens the relationship with the friend within and helps you understand yourself more. And this is where you can start to accept those things that you're a little hesitant, that you're unsure of about yourself, that you're not really confident in. And as you build that relationship with yourself, in the moment when you catch yourself and you pause and check in with the friend within, it's going to work with you. And it'll help push you forward and remind you, like, this is what we're working on. You got this. You want to be you. You got this. Let's show it. And you can slowly start taking off the mask, removing the armor, and being okay with who you are. Because you're okay, all of you. Just the way you are. All of it. Even the messiness, even the things you're not great at. It's okay, we all have those. You are not alone. Everybody has these things about ourselves that we're uncertain about. But when we can accept them, we don't have to hide them. We can still work on them. And that's what we have to do. In order to start really accepting them and being okay with them, start working on them, getting them out there. And people will feel that. Remember that. Think of that person. You know that they don't care what other people think. Because they've accepted it within themselves. They're okay with it. They're like, yeah, yep. It is what it is. We all have that. And they appear more confident. You can appear more confident too. And you will be more confident because you own it. You're owning it and you're actually showing yourself who you really are. So, until next week, keep looking forward and keep trying to catch yourself in the moment and reflecting and building that relationship with yourself and accept yourself. See you next week.